dudes saying they got their passport and they about to go overseas to find their wife, and you see they have the initials SYSBM in their bio, which is short for Save Yourself Black Man. Those dudes are tricks. These dudes have a firm understanding that they're so socially awkward and so socially inept that they need to pay to have access to coochie. Thing is, they're so broke that they can't afford the cost of women, sex workers here in the United States. So these dudes with warehouse jobs, these the type of Negroes that work on the line up there in Detroit in the car plants, they take their little 35, 40K overseas because it stretches longer.
Talking about how they are sick of women in America and how they're going to get their passports and go overseas and find them a wife. Well, the truth of the matter is, you don't want a wife. You want a slave. You want a maid. You want a personal assistant. These women are in dire financial need. And it sickens me that you get online and vocalize and brag about getting your passports and going to these countries with these to get a wife who needs a green card to escape extreme poverty. Whether you pay her family, whether you pay her, no matter what the circumstance is, she is in a dire situation. How dare you capitalize off of the fact that this woman just wants to live and thrive financially. And then you call it a marriage. That's not marriage. It's modern day slavery, and I think that it's sick. I think that it's disgusting, and all you're really doing is sifting yourself from the real divine masculines and alpha males. Because when they walk in the room, we know it. You know why? Because we feel safe. And we're not safe with you. And we know it, and that's why we're disrespectful to you. That's why we don't like you, and that's why we don't give a damn that you're going to another country to find a wife. And while you're there, get the help you need to heal your inner child, because we know that you're unhealed, that you are narcissistic, and that you're a toxic person. So while you're spending your money on your new bride, be sure to get the help that you need to. We ain't mad. We don't want you. We see you. You're not a divine masculine. We ain't mad.
And I would be fine.
What was the key? What did your mother know? What truth was coming through your mother that's going to come through you to your daughter?
My mother gave us aphorisms to learn as children. And there are two that stand out foremost in my mind. One is the inner reality creates the outer form. I learned this when I was in grade school. I was very young. And the other is the universe bears no ill to me. I bear no ill to it.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the sky and that I like. Hair from Cali, I live in the valley. Then you look sexy.
Yo! Back at you with another episode. And this is the last episode for 2022. You know? Hopefully this year was a year that you can learn from and take things from, and hopefully you get better, stronger, wiser, hopefully. It's been a challenge for probably most of us this year. At least the past 2 years has been a challenge for most of us, for sure. Doesn't matter your status, how much money you got, where you live. Past 2 years has been a challenge for most of us, I would think, you know. But you know what they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So, but this episode was brought to you by somebody that's on my newsletter. He's been following me since, god damn, probably like 3 years ago. When I first started my website. And he wanted to know my opinion on guys that some guys smash women and they don't really like the girl. I mean, they might not like nothing about her, but it's just booty call, just fun, that type of deal. So, that's what I want to talk about. And there's the problem with laying down women that you ain't really feeling, that you don't really like, is when shit goes left and let's say you get that woman pregnant or you end up on child support or some shit like that, or, let's say she give you something. God forbid. See, that's when things go left, you get her pregnant. That's where a lot of things go. It can get crazy. This is why you have a lot of guys, not a lot, but some guys. I've heard stories like this where if the girl gets pregnant and he might have smashed once, twice, so he don't really know her, really. He only been around her 2 months, 3 months, something like that. He gets her pregnant and he finds out about it. He don't like her. So a lot of guys will say, hey, I don't want no baby for her. Now, he might not say that. In his mind, he's thinking, I don't want no baby for a girl that I don't really like. I don't really know her. Now, I'm not saying that's right. Well, that's usually how that go. So due to the fact that he don't know her, really don't like her, he wants to get an abortion. Now, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you how it usually go. Now let's take it to the other side. Let's say the guy likes the woman. He gets to know her a little bit. She gets pregnant. There's a good chance if that guy has a good relationship with that woman, he likes that woman, even if he's trying to he don't even necessarily got to know her that well, but he knows her well enough. He's really feeling her. There's a good chance that dude is going to be like, okay, all right, cool. We can raise a child together. Now that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get married. Who knows? But one thing he knows is he likes her. He's still getting to know her. They have a pretty decent relationship so far, so good. She's pregnant. Everything's in line. The baby's coming. Okay, cool. No problem. You know, that's what usually happens as well. You know, it's like night and day. You know, just like, and every guy has smashed some woman that he kind of know he wasn't really shouldn't be fucking with her in the first place. I think every guy, I'm not gonna say every guy, I'd say the majority of guys have done this. And it's not the best thing to do, especially if she's a hood rat. You know, see, if she's a hood rat, oh my God. If you get her pregnant, your life is going to be a living hell. You know you're going on child support by a hood rat if you get her pregnant, you know. And see, I feel for the kid, for the baby in situations like this, because that kid is going to suffer because the mom and dad don't have a good relationship. This is why a lot of guys, especially lately, I've been hearing, if the guy don't like the woman, some guys will be like, fuck you and fuck that baby. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just telling you how it usually go. A lot of this happens overseas in other countries. Big time, boy. You go to countries like the Philippines, Japan, even in Canada. A lot of that going on, boy. Vietnam, Korea. When I was in the Navy, they used to call them war babies. That was kind of a term that they used to use when the woman gets pregnant by some military guy or a guy that's just passing through, and he'll leave and never come back. You know, and some of these kids will grow up to adulthood, and they never seen their dad before. Never. And if you ask the mom of these kids and adults, hey, when the last time, when did you see the dad? Your daughter's dad or your son's dad? They'll say, man, it's been like 20, 30 years ago. You know? So that's where the term war babies came from. If you go to like places like Korea, you have a big ass town of basically mixed kids. It's like a big community of mixed kids. All the mixed kids stay in that side of town. If you go to Korea, I think it's Seoul, Korea. It's like that, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and that's at least what I saw. You know, but yeah, and even in Japan, same thing. All the mixed kids, mixed people, they stay in the same neck of the woods in a lot of these countries, a lot of these cities. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird, but it happens like that. And all of them go to the same school too. They go to an international school overseas for the most part, because now the reason why they go to the international schools, the mixed kids, is because when they go to the public schools, the regular public schools, the kids pick on the mixed kids so bad. No. I'm not saying it's right. That's usually what happens. The kids pick on the mixed kids so bad, a lot of them can't take it. So they end up going to international school. A lot of these kids are cruel out here, man. You know, I know how a lot of these kids can be. You know what I'm saying? And especially, I see a lot of these, one of the main reasons for that is a lot of these cultures are anti-black. So if a kid, let's take a kid that's in Japan. His dad is black, his mom Japanese. Man, that kid is gonna catch hell when he go to school. 9 times out of 10. And if you was to go to Japan, and because you see some of these mixed kids, but they grown adults. You see some of them, male and female, in Tokyo, or you might see some in the smaller cities as well, like Yokohama or some of these other smaller cities besides Tokyo. You'll see some of these people, and if you ask them how their experiences was growing up in Japan, man, it's gonna be, they ain't gonna have a lot. It ain't gonna be no peaches and cream type story. I tell you that much. A lot of them kids caught hell. And a lot of them kids, if their dad is black, they need their dad in their life more than ever, especially in some of these other countries, because most of these cultures are anti-black. That's just what it is. I'm not saying it's right. That's usually how it go. You know, you can't escape this shit, man. You think is anti-black over here in North America. Boy, some of these other countries, boy, whew, that programming is strong in these other countries. And they got a strong caste system in a lot of these other countries as well. You know? So that's what happens. You know, when you sleep with a woman and you get her pregnant and you really ain't feeling her like that. You know what I'm saying? These kids end up suffering. And it's not their fault that they end up suffering. It's the parents' fault. You know what I'm saying? So I always looked at it like this. I think when I was in my 20s, I did the same thing like a lot of guys do. You just having a good time and all that shit or whatever, you know. But when I got to my 30s, I was like, man, because see, I almost got a girl pregnant when I was in my 20s, my late 20s. And I really wasn't feeling her like that. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of scared me, man. And I was like, man, never again, man. You know, never again, man. Every girl I talk to from now on, I have to like something about her. You can't be a booger wolf or a hood rat, you know. I mean, it has to be anything, something about her. I mean, I have to just like her as a human being. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, I learned my lesson. But thank God I didn't have to learn my lesson the hard way. Because I know some guys that got women pregnant. And they didn't know nothing. She was just a booty call. You know what I'm saying? And he wanted a abortion. She didn't. So, you know how that shit go. You know, if one person don't want the kid, and the other person do, well, whoever wants the kid is probably going to end up being a single parent. And it could be a man or a woman. I know some single guys that are parents. You know, there's starting to be more guys that are single parents today more than ever. I got two homeboys that are single parents. Well, one of them used to be single parent. He got married again. So being a guy that's a single parent, that's not unusual no more. That's starting to be commonplace now, you know. But the good news is a lot of these guys that are single parents, they don't stay single for very long. They usually end up getting married. Now, when it comes to the women, no, it doesn't work out the same.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, when a woman is a single parent, the kids is looked at as baggage from a guy's perspective. I'm not saying it's right. That's usually how it is. And the reason why that is because the guy that's coming in, that ain't his child. He ain't responsible for that child. He doesn't know that child. He might not want anything to do with that child. He just happened to meet the woman somewhere, somehow. And the kid might not like that child. And if that's the case, well, that relationship ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna last. And see, that's the problem. You usually have some other guy around your kid that don't like your kid. And your kid might be getting abused by the stepdad. That happens a lot. You know. So that relationship usually ends up being toxic. And the kids end up suffering because of that. And I blame the mom. You know, I blame the parent. The kids didn't ask to be in the middle of that shit. You know what I'm saying? This is why I always say leave them single moms alone with kids. Because that's a ready-made family. If you don't got no kids and you going into a situation with a woman that do have kids, man, you don't really know what you're walking into. You ain't really ready for that shit. Now, if you have kids, okay, that's a different story. That's a different story if you have kids. Because you have experience with kids. And y'all perfect for each other. Y'all have one big, happily ingraded family. You got 2 kids, she got 2 kids. Perfect. 4 kids in the household together. That's a match made in heaven. But if you ain't got no kids and she got 2 or 3, that's not a good match, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Now, some people have disagreed with me about that. And most of the time, it just happens to be the women that have kids that disagree with me.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, it's usually the single guys, of course, they're not going to disagree. But at the same time, a lot of these single guys will get with the women with kids. I don't know why, but it happens a lot. One of my homeboys got married to a girl. I think they had 2 kids. He got married to a woman with 2 kids. Now he's divorced. They had 1 kid together, She had 2. Now they're divorced now. Now he got with another girl, and I think she got 2 kids again. What the hell's going on, man? Now I didn't say anything to him about this. You know what I'm saying? But if he happens to listen to this, there's a good chance he's gonna know I'm talking about him. Hey, that's my man. You know what I'm saying? That's my man. 50 grand, like they used to say back in the day. But hey, man, it takes money to take care of them damn kids, man. Kids are expensive. And I know, kids are a liability. Now, I know that don't sound good, but kids are a liability. You can't make no money off no goddamn kids. You put the money into kids and it goes away. Now, I know that don't sound good, but that's just reality. Kids are not an asset. Well, some people will say, well, when they grow up, if you raise them right, they'll take care of you and take the family to the next level. Man, you don't know if that shit gonna happen. You can't forecast the future. Even the best of the best kids that go into adulthood, you don't know what the hell's gonna happen. You don't even know if they're gonna make it to adulthood. You might get okay, if you got 3 kids, you might get lucky if 2 of them end up well, and one of them will probably go to the dark side. You know what I'm saying? If you have 2 good kids out of 3, you should consider that a good deal. That's what I've been told. But you don't know what the hell's gonna happen, man. And you gotta wait, 20 years to see that happen? 18, 20 years to see that happen? Hell, you don't even know if you're gonna be around when they reach, I don't know, adulthood. Just depending on how old you are. But you gotta wait 20 years to see what happens. That's not an asset. That's not an asset, man. That's a liability. An asset makes you money every month, every 2 months, every 3 months. You can see it coming in. Whatever it is. Could be cash, something, anything. That's an asset. So, hey, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have kids, but you should know the real. You should know what you should know what comes with having kids. They suck the money out of you. Hey, you love them, but hey, don't get it twisted. Ain't no money in having no kids. That's all I'm saying. Hey, I'm gonna have kids, but I know ain't no money in it though. It's gonna be taking my money away. You're going in the opposite direction. Kids ain't like real estate. No, it don't work that way. But just like I said, people have kids. I think people have. Well, some people have kids because it was a mistake. I'm not talking about those people. No, I'm talking about people that plan to have kids. They plan to have kids because they want to raise the next generation to move the family forward and take things to the next level. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the parents I'm talking about. I'm not talking about where you were a booty call and your parents had sex one night and you got pregnant and they was like, oh shit. No, not like no. I ain't talking with those people, you know. But at the end of the day, the only person that suffers from these irresponsible actions of these two people are the kids. Kids end up suffering because the relationship the guy has with the woman is going to dictate the relationship he has with that kid or those kids. That's how it is. I'm not saying it's right, but that's usually how it happens. You know, this is why I think every man and woman should try his best. And let's assume that he ain't going to be with a woman. They're not going to get married, etc. Right? Every man and woman should try their best to at least get along. If they're not going to if they're not going to get married and live in the same household, because it's going to affect the relationship that man has with the kids. That's just how it is, you know. And then there's some guys and gals that can attest to this. They're a product of that experience between their mothers and fathers. You know, your dad might have been down the street, you know what I'm saying? But if their mom and father was under the same roof, assuming they had a healthy relationship under the same roof, I can almost guarantee you that the relationship with the kids would have been much better. You know what I'm saying? You know, because in my opinion, that's the best way to have kids. When a man and woman under the same roof, in harmony, good, healthy, nurturing relationship. That's the best way. That's the best way I've seen it work. That's how I've been living. Being in a separate households, you know, that's not really a good example. You know, see, kids watch you. They're watching you. They don't do what you say. They do what you do. That's how that shit go. You know what I'm saying? You can tell kids to do some shit all day long, but at the end of the day, they're gonna see what you're doing, and they're gonna, more than likely, they're gonna do it. They're gonna follow you. So if you're not a good example, if you're not practicing what you preach, well, they're probably not going to end up well, or kids probably won't be the way you probably would like. That's all I'm saying. You know? So, hey, share this video, and all that good stuff. There are a lot of young men that are single parents now. Oh, yeah. 4 kids together equals hell. Oh, shit. Yeah, 4 kids is a lot. I know a woman that had 4 kids by the time she was 27. And she had another kid by the time she was 32. So she had 5 kids by the time she was 30. No, hell no, she was younger than that. No, she had 5 kids by the time she was 30. I know a woman that was like that. And she was crazy as cat shit. Both parents have to be united against the kids. Yeah, I know. Yeah, she had 5 kids, man, by the age of 30. And she had 4 of them by the age of 25. Yeah, I know a woman that's like that. Now, all of her kids are adults now. All of them. The youngest is like, what? 21. The oldest is like 28, 29. I want to say 30. You know, and I think the first kid she had was, I think she was about 18, 19. I'm telling you, you know, that's crazy. That's crazy. I know one too. She was bad. Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. You know. So I wonder, man, I'm gonna put the link in here, man. Join the conversation, man. I want to hear. Because every man has done this. Every man, I'm not gonna say every man, but a lot of guys have had sex with a woman where they knew they shouldn't be around her, you know, because they really ain't feeling her like that. She was easy. Something to do. She might be a hood rat. You know, hood rats, for the most part, are easy. You know, hood rats are easy, bro. That's easy smash. For the most part, you know, them girls that, you know, you'd be like, that fast girl. You know, when I was growing up, my mom used to always, my grandma would say, that girl fast. Even as a teenager. That girl fast. They used to talk like that. Or they'll say, that girl loose. You know? But yeah, man, you know. They used to talk, old people used to talk like that. That girl fast, that girl loose. So even the old people knew what time it was when I was growing up. And when I was growing up, my grandmother was always old. I never saw my grandmother young. When I was born, my grandmother was 65. Think about that. My grandmother was 65 when I was born. And by the time I was 10 years old, she was 75. Think about that. And she lived to be 102, 102 years old. Damn. What a life. And check this out. My grandmother's sister, the last sister, died last month. She was 100 years old. Last month, my grandmother's last sister died last month. She was 100 years old. And she got a brother. He's the last one left. He's 92 years old. So it's long life in my family. Long life, man. You know, Mississippi in the house. They say nothing new under the sun. They knew fast and hot when they seen it. Yeah. Oh, you know what my grandmother, you know what my mom told me? She said there was always women like that. You know, there was always home wreckers and hoes, and them type of women were always around. Yeah. She said when she was growing up, she used to hear other people say this woman was a home wrecker or loose, something like that. But when they were growing up, they didn't call women hoes, though. They just called them home wreckers and loose girls, you know, or heifers. You know, people know heifers. They call them heifers and loose girls and home wreckers. They say, hey, that heifer, I call that heifer the other day. If you hear on them old, if you hear your grandma say, I call that heifer the other day, that means that woman's basically a hoe. That's all. You know, she's kind of loose. And she's probably always been loose. You know, but they didn't call them hoes. A hoe, call a woman a hoe is that's kind of looked down upon. You know, I've never heard my grandmother, my mom, or my aunts ever call a woman a hoe. They all say she's a heifer, which is funny to me. A heifer, yeah, that's a funny way of saying that. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's a South Carolina thing where I'm from. I'm not sure. Well, they say, do they say heifer in Maryland or up north? They call it. That might be just where I'm from. I'm not sure. You know, them type of women are hidden. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they were hidden. Everybody knew about them, but they just didn't. They didn't broadcast it. Because even as a little boy, I knew who was I know who was wife material and who wasn't, even as a little boy. But it wasn't broadcast. People didn't really have discussions about it. Like how we having a discussion right now, people didn't do this when I was growing up. You might have a discussion with your dad or your mom or something like that, but there wasn't a lot of group discussions like that at least not when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? So mine call them heifers. Okay, so that ain't an up north thing. Country boy. So far, the best advice I've heard in a while. Okay, what I've used to hear. I used to hear the women in my family call them floozies. Yep, I heard that one. Floozies when I was a boy. Plus silly tilly old folks had, I'm saying. Yeah, I heard floozy. Yeah, I heard floozy too. Yeah. They had all kind of ways calling women hoes, man, back in the day. Floozy, heifers, loose girls. It had all kind of ways, man. Home wreckers. So there were always those type of women back in the day. It's not new, you know. Those type of women always existed, and them type of women ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. Hood rats ain't going nowhere. You know, there's always gonna be the bottom of the barrel women, and you shouldn't lay up with them. That's all I'm saying. Because if you get that woman pregnant, it's not gonna end up well for you. You know you're going on child support. So you males, let me tell you something. If you get a hood rat pregnant, and if she tells you she's gonna keep the baby, whether you like it or not, you better go down to the courthouse first. Put yourself on child support. Because you know what's gonna happen. She gonna put you on child support. You better go down there first. That's my advice. I'm telling you. It's a slew foot. I never heard that one. You know, that's how it is, man. But I know we all make mistakes. The traps have been set out here. Your job is to avoid them as much as possible. And you're going to make mistakes. I mean, that's unavoidable. But you want to minimize your mistakes. That's the thing, you know. But the traps have been set for you out here. There's a lot of things out here that can get you jammed up. And some of us can't afford to make a lot of mistakes, including myself. You know? Including myself, man. So, hey, you know, oh, no, they ain't going nowhere, and it's best to leave them kids alone. I've heard that you better go to that child support place first. Hell yeah. Yeah, if you know a woman gonna put you on child support off top, and you know she ain't about shit, you know you fucked up, it's best for you to go to the courthouse first. You know. And you shouldn't be fucking with that woman in the first place. But what's done is done. You can't dwell on your mistakes and beat yourself up so badly. Just try not to do make the same mistake over again, and just raise your child to the best of your ability. You know what I'm saying? Yo.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much, man. What's on your mind?
Just listen to you about that baby mama drama.
Yeah, man. Baby mama drama is common in North America.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of common everywhere else too. It's just
it is.
It's not like this. I mean, I learned that they have it in Brazil too, like that, but not like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking about the support system. I mean, no.
Oh, well,
you can talk your way out of that.
Well, they don't have to pay out a lot of money in Brazil.
No. You tell them what you can do, what you know, you actually do what you need to do. You know, being responsible and everything.
Yeah, somebody said, "Why are you hitting them raw?" Man, look, cut it out, bro. Look, let me tell you something. By the time you smash that woman 3, 4, 5, 6 times, you taking that condom off. That's just to be real. Come on,
They're gonna
man.
be that one moment.
Let's be honest. You ain't. No, there's some guys that's consistent like that, but that ain't average. The average guy, by the time you get to the 4th, 5th time, 6th time, man, he ain't gonna even buy the condom no more. That's usually.
It's not even just that. She got that plan going.
Well,
she figured out your number. She got that combination by the 4th time. So only 4 times, 4 combinations. I got you, man.
And plus, most women know if the guy is responsible, she ain't worried about getting pregnant.
No. Not at all.
Because I've met women that I know if I wouldn't have said anything about a condom, they'd just let me go straight in.
Yeah.
I know. Yo.
Oh, sure.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, on that note of what you just said about guys and the condom after 4 or 5 times, you are right. But let's be real. There are some guys that when they do get a woman that's in their eyes fine as hell, they want to get her pregnant.
Of course.
It's like a notch to them. You know what I mean? To plant their seed somewhere. So they want to get the woman pregnant. And they don't care about the baby mama drama and all, because they probably don't even care about the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those guys are fascinated by looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they just got the woman that, everybody sees a fat ass, whatever, gives them a self-esteem boost. That I got her first. I got her pregnant first.
Exactly. Yeah, I know some guys that say, "Hey, man, all I need is one night, raw," and they'll brag about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until they get an STD or something, then. Yeah,
exactly.
Because a lot of guys get shocked, like, "Whoa, she gave me an STD." It's like,
and
what you think?
And them be the main ones that be carrying shit around, bro.
Yeah. The main ones that everybody's screwing, but everybody thinks they're the good home girl next door. She's screwing everybody secretly.
You go to her house, you be like, "God damn, you gonna clean up this motherfucker?"
Yep.
That turned me off right there.
But let's be real. There are some guys that the girl find and physically they'll walk over garbage just to
Oh
get
yeah.
some.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Their standard is just based on how physically attractive she is out in
Yeah.
public.
Yeah.
I had that issue myself years ago with my ex-wife because she was physically a voluptuous black woman. We would go to the mall, guys' heads would turn, and also women's heads would turn. My self-esteem went through the roof until I went through BS, and then I realized that was just my response to my own low self-esteem.
Yeah. Yeah, I think every guy go through that phase at some point. Well, where they see a girl, you be like, damn, you know. But over time, you be like, look, man, there's a lot of good-looking women out here, man. It ain't really that.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't see that because where my mind was so low, I only saw the fact that I had a fine woman right next to me. You know what I mean? I couldn't see in the future. I was just living the moment.
Yep.
That's actually dangerous because you're not planning anything, and that person can take advantage of you.
Yeah, that's true, man. You know, but at least you learned it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I learned it, and I had a relationship after that for years, and I learned from the first relationship to get out the second one because it was going down that same road. So I had to learn through that process to avoid a bad situation.
Yep. Yeah. But all right, brothers, I'm about to get off here, man. Hey, happy New Year! Happy New Year to y'all, brothers, man.
Yeah.
You guys too, man. Happy New Year. Take care.
All right. Yeah. Peace. So there you have it. Like, share this episode. Hit the Cash App on your way out if you like what I was talking about in this show. And Happy New Year to you and yours. This is gonna be my last show until next year. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the stallion that I like. Hair from Cali, I live in the valley. Then you look